But yesterday, Kansas City's 18-16 division round loss to the Steelers went down to the wire in what some think was a controversial call. Chiefs tackle Eric Fisher was called for holding James Harrison on a two-point conversion attempt that would have tied the game at 18-18 with less than 3 minutes remaining. Travis Kelce, not too happy.
This sucks. It was an unbelievable play call. Last drives, Alex just drove us down there, fourth down after fourth down, making plays. The momentum's getting on our side, and then just get our jugulars ripped out because the ref felt bad for James Harrison falling on the ground. It's ignorance. The ref number 51 shouldn't even be able to wear a zebra jersey ever again. He shouldn't even be able to work a Foot Locker.
Shouldn't even be a Foot Locker banned from that too, Max?
I like Foot Locker.
I do too.
Yeah.
I've got a great kick collection.
Yes, I like it.
Probably not like yours. Max,
Yep.
should holding have been called?
Yes, and I don't know what the argument is. Like, sometimes you see a ticky-tack call away from the play where even though technically it's holding, you say it didn't affect the play. It's a big moment. You don't have to enforce that really like that. You're looking for something. But here, you know, Fisher's arm was around Harris's neck, who's going for the quarterback. Well, I mean, maybe he sacks the quarterback. Maybe Smith feels pressure and it alters the throw. I think there's actually, in reality, a very high degree of probability that alters the play. So since it was definitely, clearly, technically holding, and there's a very high degree of chance that it alters the play, I don't know what the argument against it is.
It was not the wrong call, but it is an arbitrary call. Sometimes it's made, sometimes it's not.
No consistency. There's
no consistency with that particular call, Max. I'm a Steelers fan, as we all know, and I'm happy that the call went in their favor. But in the interest of fairness, I must confess that James Harrison, when he's going after the quarterback, he usually has a lower center of gravity, and he rushes the passer in such a fashion that head-neck area is usually relatively low. And as a result, you can find yourself in that situation like offensive tackle Fisher did, and a lot of times it does not get called.
Yes.
So considering the fact that the two-point conversion would have tied the game, that it's a playoff game, you do sort of get the home field of KC. You do sort of get the impression that the referee dictated the game as opposed to allowing the players to do so.
Did you see that video just then?
I saw it several times. What I'm saying to you is this: I'm not questioning that the right call was made. I'm saying there are many instances where there's nothing consistent about that call. It either happens or it doesn't, and nobody sweats it. So you leave it to them to decide it on the field, because that secondary still had to defend against their receivers, and they didn't do it the first time. The second time, they obviously took down the pass, and it ended up what it ended up. Even though it wasn't anything wrong with the call, I still don't believe it's a call that should have been made in that situation.
If I'm the quarterback, Alex Smith, I'm upset, too, because of the call. It's the timing of the call. To make it at that particular time with the two-point conversion that could have tied the game, most of the time, referees don't want to make that to be the deciding call of the game. Now, is it the right call? Yes, it's the right call. But one thing about Eric Fisher, and also playing against a guy like James Harrison is a smaller defensive end, outside linebacker, who is about leverage with him. So he's a bull rusher, too. That's why Fisher didn't allow him into his body. Now, what James did, which is excellent on his part, is he turned his shoulders and then he fell. Now, when he fell, that drew more attention because Eric Fisher jumped over the top of him. The arm was across the neck, and it looked like he pushed him. So as far as that was concerned, it was the right call for the referee. Now, with Travis Kelce, come on, man, you got to handle it a little bit differently because your game wasn't up to par.
He dropped 3 passes.
The game. They were expecting you to dominate in this game, and you dropped too many passes, had the penalty that cost you.
That was such a stupid penalty.
Everybody on the sideline yelling at you, and you seemed to put your head down instead of elevate your game because you were needed to win that particular game for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, as far as the play is concerned, kudos to the referee because most of the time, like I said, that hand's sitting on that hip, and they're not throwing that flag. But for them to throw that flag and to say, yeah, it was holding to pull him back and to be the deciding factor, that's what changed everything in that Kansas City.
Travis Kelce dropped 3 passes, got that 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Yes.
You did more damage to your team that put y'all in a situation than put y'all in a situation where you needed the 2-point conversion.
Right.
Had you handled your business appropriately, you wouldn't have cost your team points, because you're talking about anywhere from 6 to 10 points he cost his team because of the plays he made.
I hear you. You know, if what you do alters the play and it's against the rules, playoffs or no playoffs, maybe especially playoffs, got to blow that whistle, man.
Let's move it forward.